Explanation of Article 310 of the Indian Constitution. Location in the Constitution. Part 14 deals with services under the Union and the states. Chapter 1 related to services. Content of Article 310. Article 310 establishes the tenure of office for government employees under the Union and state governments. It introduces the doctrine of pleasure, which means that government employees serve at the pleasure of the President, for the Union, or the Governor, for the state. Clause 1 Doctrine of pleasure. Union services. All civil servants of the Union, including all India services and defence personnel, hold office at the pleasure of the President. State services. All civil servants of a state government hold office at the pleasure of the Governor. Meaning, the government can remove any public servant at its discretion unless specific constitutional protections, such as Article 311, apply. Clause 2 Compensation in certain cases. Exception for certain employees. If a person is appointed under a contract, not a member of civil services or defense services, the contract may include a compensation clause. If such a post is abolished or the person is removed, not due to misconduct, before the contract ends, they may be eligible for compensation. Who decides? The President, for Union services, or the Governor, for state services, has the authority to decide on compensation if needed. Analysis of Article 310. Doctrine of pleasure in India versus UK. India follows the British concept of doctrine of pleasure, but with constitutional limitations, Article 311. In the UK, civil servants can be removed anytime without reason. In India, Article 311 provides safeguards against arbitrary dismissal. Applicability of the doctrine of pleasure. Applies to civil servants and defense personnel. Judges of High Courts and Supreme Court, election commissioners, and CAG do not serve at the pleasure of the President. Their removal process is specified separately in the Constitution. Protection under Article 311. Although civil servants hold office at the pleasure of the President Governor, Article 311 provides protections. Government employees cannot be dismissed or reduced in rank without a proper inquiry and an opportunity to be heard. Impact on contractual employees. The contract clause under Article 310(2) allows the government to offer compensation if a post is removed before the contract period ends. This is used when hiring experts or specialists on contract for government projects. Conclusion. Article 310 establishes the doctrine of pleasure, meaning government employees serve at the discretion of the President, Union, or Governor, State. However, Article 311 provides safeguards against arbitrary dismissal. Contract-based employees can receive compensation if their job is terminated early, except in cases of misconduct. The Constitution of India. Part 14. Services under the Union and the States. Chapter 1 Services. Article 310. Tenure of office of persons serving the Union or a state. 1. Except as expressly provided by this Constitution, every person who is a member of a defence service or of a civil service of the Union or of an All India service or holds any post connected with defence or any civil post under the Union holds office during the pleasure of the President, and every person who is a member of a civil service of a state or holds any civil post under a state holds office during the pleasure of the Governor of the state. 2. Notwithstanding that a person holding a civil post under the Union or a state holds office during the pleasure of the President or, as the case may be, of the Governor of the state, any contract under which a person, not being a member of a defence service or of an All India service or of a civil service of the Union or a state, is appointed under this constitution to hold such a post may, if the President or the Governor, as the case may be, deems it necessary in order to secure the services of a person having special qualifications, provide for the payment to him of compensation, if before the expiration of an agreed period that post is abolished or he is, for reasons not connected with any misconduct on his part, required to vacate that post.